Hi, Livia team. Beth here, your yoga instructor for today. Hope you're doing awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get into that easy sit position, or if you like the hero pose better, that's always good as well, because we're going to head into that child's pose pretty quick. So whatever works for you, this is your easy pose. Go ahead and inhale, bring those beautiful shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, take them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Go ahead and drop that chin right to the chest. Let the head sway back and forth if you would like. Feel free to close the eyes if you want. Go ahead and bring that chin up, parallel to the floor. Take a right look. Take a left look over the shoulder. And a couple more times. All the while remembering that yoga breath. In through the belly. And out through the belly. Feeling the belly rise and fall. Let's take that chin and make little circles all around. Chin is just carving out circles in the air and other direction. Inhale, lift those hands over the head. Come to that prayer position. And we're going to build a little bit of heat here by pushing those elbows towards the center. So almost like, they want to give each other a hug, but they can't. Careful with the wrists, just using those elbows coming forward. Tall spine. Now let's bring those elbows together. Gently lift. Feel the stretch through those shoulders. Gently bring those elbows down and pick a side. Maybe the right side elbow goes underneath the left elbow, and we take those hands crossing together. If they don't reach, that's okay too. And just lift the elbows just gently. Feel that stretch right across the shoulder blades. Relax those elbows down and unwind. Inhale, lift those hands up high. Come back to that prayer pose. Creating a little bit of pressure here through the elbows. If it's too much on the wrist though, don't do it. That's okay. Just think about elongating the spine. Looking straight ahead, shoulders are down, but the chest is proud. Let's bring those elbows together once again. Lifting the elbows ever so slightly. And then dropping the elbows down. If you took that right elbow under the left, take the left elbow this time underneath the right. And we take that eagle arm, lifting those eagle arms up. And again, if you can't reach the fingers, that's okay. This is just as awesome. Gently unwind those eagle's arms. Inhale, lift. And come right back to that prayer. Lengthen through the spine as much as you can here. With an inhale and an exhale, come forward. Keeping the spine really nice and straight. Inhale, lift. Exhale, coming forward, nice straight spine. Shoulders are down. And coming back up to that easy sit position, release the hands down. Let's go ahead into that child's pose. If you're in hero, just set that bottom down. If you're like me and you're in that easy sit position, bring those feet back behind. Here's that hero pose. And now we're going to crawl the hands forward and come right to a breath in a child's pose. Just breathe here. Give yourself some really good breaths. Relax those hips down towards the mat. Relax your forehead to the mat. Let the shoulders fall naturally. right towards the mat. And if they don't fit all the way, that's okay too. Just breathe right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and move here, get some mobility going. We're going to bring those hips up, coming almost to that tabletop position, but we're going to keep moving, bringing those elbows in. We're going to lower that upper body towards the mat and then raise the upper body up and just go right back into your child's pose. Breathe here. And let's do it again. Raising those hips up, bringing the belly in. Take those elbows in towards the body. And lifting back up. Right to that child's pose. 2 breaths here. And one more time. Elbows are in, back is nice and straight. Come as low as you can come and then pop it back up. Nice and controlled. And bring that bottom down. When you're ready, let's go ahead and go into that tabletop position where we're going to align the shoulder and the wrist. And we align the hip and the knee. Let's get some mobility going here. Move around just a little bit. Let's take a leg. Maybe it's your right leg. Lifting it up to the sky. Take that knee and draw some circles. Think about your hips parallel here. If you're kind of opening up a little bit, that's okay too. But if we can bring the belly in and gently come back to that start tabletop position, move around a little bit, check your wrist, check your neck, that it's not too far up, too far down. And take that other knee, and let's draw those circles. Using the hip, using the glute here, definitely using the breath. All right, coming back to that tabletop position. We're going to go back a couple more times into child's pose. Reach those hands forward. Feel free to bring that forehead to the mat. Drive the tops of the feet into the mat. When you're ready, bring the hips up, bring the belly in, elbows toward just the chest. Lower, lift, and back to that child's pose. Lift the hips, bring in the belly, lower, lift, and back to child's. Remember, this is a practice. That's what I love about yoga. It's a practice. It's a matter of perfection. Each time you do one pose, you can do it the best you possibly can, practicing that form. And you would just get better. We just get better 1% every day. And when you're ready, let's come to that tabletop. Tabletop position here. Wiggle around those hands. Tuck the toes under. Feel a stretch in those toes. If you've been taking advantage of nice weather and going for walks, your toes might be sore. Now we're going to go to that downward dog. So we're going to lift the hips all the way up. Move around in your downward dog. Not extra pressure on your wrist. We want just a little bit of pressure there, and we want pressure towards the back too. So you're nice and even. Feel free to move around in this downward dog. Walk your dog by bringing your knees in. Nice. Now let's go ahead and bend those knees ever so slightly. And bring the hips up. Bend the knees ever so slightly and bring the hips up. Check those fingers are nice and wide. One more. Bend the knees ever so slightly. Bring it up. Where are those heels? Maybe those heels are a little bit more towards the mat. Maybe they're up. Either way works awesome. We want to think about bringing those heels down towards the mat. But if they don't want to go there, that's okay. Again, we're practicing. All right, so now we're going to step or hop if you're feeling sassy today. And we're going to bring those feet right towards the hands. Knees are going to be slightly bent. Totally fine with that. If you can straighten the knees, go for it. But if you've been walking outside in that weather, maybe your hamstrings are tight. Just want to give it a stretch. Don't want to stress it out. Let's go that halfway lift with our breath. So inhale, exhale, halfway lift. Remember our halfway lift. Shoulders are away from the ears and our back is flat. Inhale here, exhale, forward fold. We're bringing it down. Inhale, exhale here. Halfway lift. Now let's take the bottom. We're going to sit the bottom on down. But we're going to make sure that those knees are in alignment with the heels. Lift the chest and bring the hands to that prayer position. Think about your bottom here. Maybe it's sticking out. That's okay. It's about bringing it in. Feel the difference when you bring it in. Bring it flat. And bring it in. Check your knees. Make sure they're tracking right over the ankles. Not falling in or not falling out. And let's take those hands down towards the feet. Bending through the hips. The knees are slightly bent. Take those fingers underneath those beautiful toes. Wiggle around if you'd like. If you don't like the wiggle, that's okay too. All right, toes come up, fingers release, going back to that prayer pose. Chest comes up right to that position where we breathe. Checking the knees to that prayer. Let's go to Tadasana, or our mountain pose. We're going to stand right up. Remember with Tadasana, we're bringing the belly in. We're strengthening through the whole body. Feel the arms engage, your back engage, your knees. Spread the toes. And from Tadasana, let's go right back to chair. If you like your hands extended in that chair, you certainly can. If your shoulders are like, no, not today, then prayer pose is awesome. Tadasana here, lifting up, breathing. And back to that chair. Let's go to that forward fold. So inhale, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Take it to chair. Tadasana. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chair pose. And Tadasana. One more forward fold. Halfway. Chair. And Tadasana. Nice. Shake it out just a little bit. Hopefully you're feeling those hamstrings engaged. And from here, let's inhale, lift the shoulders. Open back to Tadasana. Relax those legs, opening about hip width apart, but build that strength. Flex them if you would like. Bring the bottom, squeeze it. And then relax, come to prayer. It's take a foot, right or left, you choose, and we're going to lift it into that crane pose. I like to flex my foot to make sure that I know that I'm activating everything. Some people relax their foot, go where you would like to go today. Think about eventually you're going to want to flex so you can feel everything, all the activation. Now, if your crane is lower, cool. It's your crane. Honor your crane. Maybe crane isn't quite, that one-footed stance isn't quite where you're at right now. Just bring your toe forward. We're balancing, we're using our core. Nice, breathe. Let's go ahead and open that crane into that tree pose. Remember with tree, we want to stay away from any of our joints. So the foot is definitely not on the knee, definitely not on the ankle, but it can be right on that inner thigh. It can be right on that calf. It can be on the ground. Think about your hips here. If your hip is hanging out, see if you can bring it in. And gently, wherever you're at, let's go back to that Tadasana. Release that leg. And take that other crane pose. So we're going to lift up that other foot. I like to flex. You certainly don't have to. Again, it's a practice. Taking that crane into a tree. Think about those hips. Where are they? Releasing it down into Tadasana. Let's take it one more time, a little bit more of a challenge. Take that other foot into your crane. Now this time, wherever your crane is at, we're going to kick that leg back behind, flatten out the top of the body, and we're taking it to that warrior three. Now if you like your warrior three with the hands extended, go for it. Sometimes it's Charlie's Angels fingers. Maybe it's just prayer. And then let's go back to that Tadasana. Crane pose, other side. When you're ready, kick that foot back behind. We're dropping the shoulders to parallel to the floor. Warrior three. Where you like your warrior three. No judgments here. And back to that Tadasana. Let's take it to chair. Let's go ahead and forward fold. From forward fold, let's take a leg behind and see if we can get those heels to match up. So if you took your right leg or your left leg back, all we're going to do is think about those heels lining up, 45-degree angle on that back foot. From here, let's lift those hands high, sink down into that front leg. We have our warrior one. Now from here, let's lengthen through the spine. Shoulders are dropped. We're going to come forward with our upper body. Reach forward a little bit, but still have those shoulders dropped. Take those hands behind. Interlace the fingers if you can. If not, that's fine. And drop down as far as you can. Hands come to the mat. That front knee is bent and that back knee is going to come up and match it. Inhale, lift to Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Chair pose. And forward fold. From forward fold, we take that other foot and take it behind. Think about matching those heels up. The back foot has that 45-degree angle. Front foot is bent. If it feels good for you, stay here. If you can, lift. Warrior one, the other side. And check yourself out. You have a 90-degree angle in the front. Back leg is straight. Leaning forward. Extending forward. Coming down as far, or taking those hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. And coming down. Go as far as you can. If you can't interlace the fingers again, that's okay. Hands come down to the mat. Back foot matches the front foot with that bend. And inhale, lift. Let's set it down to chair. Take it to that forward fold. And let's drop those feet, both of them, together or separately into that plank position. So if you hopped it, awesome. If you didn't, awesome. If your knees are up, great. If your knees are down, great. And breathe. From that plank, let's go to that downward dog. Push those hips up. Relax those feet. Walk that dog. Bring those knees in and knees come up. Knees in, knees come up. Knees all the way down to the ground. Into that nice, wonderful tabletop position. Let's drop the neck ever so slightly. Shoulders are down. Weight of the head does the work. Can you wiggle yes? Can you wiggle no? And we'll take that bottom back onto the heels and spread out those fingers, coming into that child's pose. Reaching forward, relaxing the shoulders. And then let's go ahead and bring that bottom up. Belly comes in, elbows come towards the chest. We lower and we lift. Back to that child's pose. Bringing it up. Flowing through. A little yoga push up there. I know that can be kind of a naughty word, push up. And how about one more? Back into that child's pose. Let's go ahead and take those hands underneath the armpits. Shoulders are going to come down. We're going to lift up here. We're going to set the bottom down onto the heels. Let's take the hands behind the body. Extend. Think about pulling the shoulders down, looking just a little bit up to the heaven. Opening that chest, breathe. Gently release, come back to tabletop position. Let's go ahead and take a knee. You pick the knee in between the thumbs in tabletop position. Sliding back that other leg. Now, if that other leg needs to be bent, the back leg, that is completely fine. Think about framing the front of the body right over that knee. Now, if this feels good to you, stay here. If you want a little bit more, we're going to take that chest right down on top of that knee. And again, that back leg, don't worry about it. It can be bent, it can be straight, and you can wiggle around in this too. Our lovely pigeon. Now stay here if you would like, or bring the front of the body up. That back foot, bring the back foot up, reach back with the same side hand. So if your right foot is up, your right hand reaches back. Really stretching through that quadricep. Working through the hip. Gently, gently release. And if you're in that low pose with your pigeon, just breathing, go ahead and come up. Coming up, pigeon, with your chest up. Let's go ahead and bring those knees back to meet each other. Out of that tabletop position, move around ever so slightly. Take that other knee right in between those hands. Slide the back leg back, or bend the back knee. That's good too. However you like to do it. And breathe. Framing the chest right over that front leg. We can come down if it feels good. If this is good, stay here. You want a little bit more, hands come underneath armpits. We lift up. That other leg in the back comes up. And we're going to reach and breathe. And as a reminder, one side of your body is always more flexible than the other side. You're normal. It's all good. Gently release that back leg. And if you are down in that nice low pigeon breathing, go ahead and bring those arms in towards the body, fingers under armpits, lift. And then let's lower that hip towards the mat. Flip those legs over. Come into our bound angle, which is just our heels meeting each other and the just bottoms of the feet together. Straight, nice and tall through the back. Let the legs lower. Grab the toes if you would like. Tall through the spine. Inhale with an exhale, come forward. Breathe here. Inhale, exhale. Pay attention to that breath. On the inhale, lift the chest. And breathe here. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready to exhale, come forward. And inhale, lift. Let's straighten those legs, bring them forward. Inhale, lift the hands high. Come to that prayer position. Kind of super glue those hips down into the mat. And then pick a side, maybe it's your right side. With your exhale, pay attention to that breathing, or gently twist. If you'd like to bring your hand behind your hip, you certainly can. Dropping the shoulder. Hands back to prayer, coming center. Inhale, exhale. With your exhale, twist the other direction. Maybe the hand comes down. Maybe it doesn't. Think about the elongation of that spine. If you feel yourself kind of coming in, straighten it up. Back to prayer. Coming center. Inhale, lift those hands. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift. Reach those hands high, shoulders come down. Inhale, exhale here. With that exhale, come forward, reaching towards those toes. And inhale, lift. And we're going to take one fist into a widespread finger, coming down to the heart. The light in me truly honors the light in you. I hope you just had a nice, revitalizing yoga experience today. We'll see you next time. Namaste.